Have you ever clicked a link and instantly wish you hadn't? I'm not talking about some jump scare or a creepy chain email. I'm talking about a website so infamous that people still argue about it years after it disappeared. Some people called it journalism, others called it exploitation. But no matter what side you were on, almost everyone agreed on one thing. Once you found Best Gore, you never forgot it. And to understand why this website became one of the most controversial places on the internet, we have to go back in time when the web had almost no rules. To understand Best Gore, you have to understand what the internet looked like in the late 2000s. Social media was still growing. YouTube was far less restrictive. Forums ruled online culture, and shock websites spread through word of mouth. People shared links simply to see someone else's reaction. Some sites focused on strange mysteries. Others focused on disturbing photographs or urban legends. Best Gore entered this landscape in April of 2008. Created by Canadian web minister Mark Merrick, the site presented itself in a place that documented real-world violence without censorship. Rather than fiction horror, the website focused on real incidents pulled from around the world. News stories, crime reports, industrial accidents, war footage, and other violent events. Unlike traditional news outlets, Best Gore often included uncensored material along lengthy opinion pieces written by Mark himself. Supporters argued the site showed reality exactly as it was. Critics argued it crossed ethical lines by displaying people's worst moments to millions of strangers. One of the biggest questions surrounding Best Gore has always been, why would anyone visit a website like that? Psychologists have long studied something known as morbid curiosity. It's the instinct that makes people slow down at accident scenes, watch disaster documentaries, or become fascinated with true crime. For many visitors, curiosity was the reason. Some people wanted to understand dangerous situations. Others claimed it reminded them how fragile life really is. Emergency responders, medical professionals, and military personnel have even spoken publicly about viewing difficult material as part of training or education. But curiosity can become desensitization. The more shocking material someone consumes, the less shocking it can begin to feel. That concern became one of the biggest criticisms aimed at websites like Best Gore. Although Best Gore had already built a following, everything changed in 2012. That year, Canadian student John Lynn was murdered in a case that received international attention. A video connected to the crime was uploaded online. Best Gore hosted that video. The decision immediately drew worldwide criticism. Authorities alleged the website had continued to make the material available after becoming aware of what it depicted. Mark Merrick disputed aspects of those claims, saying it was removed on his own initiative. The controversy eventually led to criminal charges under Canada's obscenity laws. The case became one of the first major legal battles involving a website hosting extremely violent real-world content. In 2013, Mark Merrick was arrested. He was charged with corrupting public morals through the distribution of obscene material. The charge wasn't about creating the video, nor about committing the crime shown within it. It focused on publishing and distributing the footage online. Years later, Merrick pleaded guilty. The case sparked debates among lawyers, journalists, and free speech advocates. Where should governments draw the line? Is documenting reality protected speech? Or does distributing certain violent media cross into criminal territory? These questions remain controversial today. The case became one of the internet's earliest examples of court-confronting content moderation long before today's social media debates. Perhaps even more infamous than the videos themselves were the comment sections. Former visitors often described the discussions as deeply unsettling. Some users treated horrific events with complete indifference. Others attempted serious discussion about crime, war, or psychology. Like many anonymous internet communities, the tone varied dramatically. Over time, critics argued that the culture surrounding the website became as controversial as the content itself. Looking back, many former users have said that the comments disturbed them more than the articles themselves. After more than a decade online, Best Gore quietly disappeared. In late 2020, visitors discovered the website was no longer functioning. Soon after, Mark Merrick indicated the shutdown would likely be permanent. He stated he intended to move on to other interests. There wasn't one dramatic police raid, no Hollywood-style ending, just a website that slowly faded away after years of controversy, legal battles, and technical problems. Whether someone visited Best Gore as journalism, documentation, or exploitation, one thing is undeniable. The internet that allowed it to flourish barely exists anymore. Today's major platforms aggressively moderate violent material. Content warnings appear before disturbing videos. Graphic footage is often removed within hours. Algorithms actively reduce its visibility. The online world has shifted dramatically from the relative unmoderated web of the late 2000s. That doesn't mean disturbing material has vanished. It simply exists in much smaller, less visible corners of the internet. The story of Best Gore isn't really about one website. It's about a question that has no easy answer. Should every part of reality be visible? Or are there images so dramatic they should never become public entertainment? Some argue hiding violence allows society to ignore it. Others believe broadcasting tragedy only creates more harm. There may never be a perfect answer, but the debate continues every time graphic footage spreads across social media after a major news event. Best Gore is gone, but its legacy remains. It forced conversations about free speech, online responsibility, victims' dignity, and the limits of internet freedom. Whether people remember it as a warning, a historical curiosity, or one of the internet's darkest experiments, its story reflects an era when almost anything could exist online, an era that becomes more distant every year. And maybe that's exactly why this continues to fascinate us, because they remind us that the internet wasn't always the carefully moderated place we know today. Sometimes all it took was one click, and there was no going back.